Hey y'all. How y'all doing today? On this Friday? On this windy day on Friday. Ooh, it's so windy out there. Yeah, that's why I'm trying to fix my hair. I was out there trying to get some exercise out in nature before it dropped back down to the 20s. We went from the it don't even, I ain't even gonna get into it. It don't even matter. No need to give that energy because it don't even matter. That's why my hair, y'all just excuse the hair. That's why it looked like how it looked, because it was out there whipping and whirling with the wind. But anyway, happy Friday, y'all. Hi, and welcome to my channel. Thank you guys for coming back to see me, Tasha. Thank you. Also, this is so cute. How did that get on the floor? Oh, my glasses just all over the floor. What's up with that? Anywho, to my subscribers, I can't believe I got subscribers. I got two subscribers, and y'all know what? I thank y'all so much for subscribing. I sure do, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I sure do. Okay, so we're gonna get on into it, all right? We're gonna get on into this for today's life lesson. Okay. Today's life lesson is going to be titled something to the effect of, fixing them is not love. Fixing them is not love. Now, this is probably going to apply mostly to my empaths, because we love to fix people. Yeah, we love to do that. We love to fix people. We get so much joy from that, you know, taking somebody that's going through such distress and building them back up and, putting them together, and then you got this great achievement here, that you help assist, because you don't want to take all of the credit. You help assist, and then we get them all fine and dandy and ready for the world, and we send them amongst the world, and it's like the moment something goes bad or off kilter, it's like everything falls apart and it's right back to where it was. And the reason why it goes back to being the way it was, it's pretty simple. Because you probably were the one that was holding it all together in the first place. This scenario that I just explained to you, that was my loop. That was part of the loop, I should say. It was the typical, me being independent, always the one that always seemed to have their stuff together, and then I come across this feeble person, this person that what I feel in my mind is showing them love, and the reason why we as empaths, we feel that is showing love, because we see them lacking, or we see them falling apart, and we as empaths, we know how it feels to fall apart and not have anybody to help put you back together. And we as empaths, we think putting people back together and fixing them, we think that is love. And all in all, it really isn't love. It is us still wounded from the trauma of not being helped and nurtured and all that great stuff. And really what we're doing is we're taking how we feel and how we still feel about ourselves, because we haven't dealt with the trauma of it, and we take that and we see that with this person, and we're like, you know what, I see your pain, and I'm not going to keep allowing you to go through that pain, even though there's a high percentage chance that they put themselves in that pain. But we don't care about that, because we're empaths and we want to fix, and we're going to show you that this is what love is, because we think That's what love is. Fixing people. And when you fix someone, you're giving all your energy, you're giving your effort. You are taking every little piece of everything that you would give yourself, you're giving it to another individual, and you're putting it all into them to fix them. And here's the problem with that. When you are an independent person and you want to fix people, you don't think about yourself, because that's just in your nature. You don't think about yourself. But what ends up happening is you put in all this energy and effort and time and most likely finances into building this person back up. And the moment the relationship falls off kilter, everything goes to waste. And it's simply because it was you that was doing it, but you're hurting yourself. The empath, you're hurting yourself because all that love and attention that you just gave this person that did not respect you at all, because let's be honest, if they did, then they would have, right? So they don't respect you now. All of that you don't want to say it's been wasted, because you gave it from your heart and you knew it was love. From your perspective, it was love. So when you gave, it was love. When they took, it was just give me, help me. There was only giving to one, and it wasn't returning with nothing. And because I believe in accountability, for my part in this, the reason why, because it's about accountability here, so the reason why I was choosing these kind of people, simply put, I was trying to heal something in me by healing them. That's what my conclusion is for me. And so I had to take the time and figure it out. How did I get to this point? And also what comes with being independent, we don't so much look at a person as, okay, this person is going to provide for me. And as an independent person, we do not look at it. At least from my perspective, I didn't look at a person as being, okay, he's going to be my provider. And I know as a female, a lot of females, they look for a man for being a provider. And men, I know a lot of you expect to provide. But as an independent, self-sufficient woman, I've never looked for a provider. Number one being, I wasn't raised around good examples of providing. You know what I'm saying? Especially from a man's perspective, I didn't have that. So therefore, I was looked at as a burden. So anytime I asked for anything, whether it was $20 or $1 for snacks, it didn't matter what it was. I got a lecture, I got cussed out, I got called names, all this stuff. I'll be so glad when you get grown and get the F out of my house. You're nothing but a problem. I got to spend my bill. I mean, it was a whole thing for $20. And the thing is that there were solutions, because even when I was younger, I was all about solutions. There's a problem, there got to be a solution to fix it, right? So the solution is, if I'm saying I need $20 for a school field trip so I can eat, and you give me this big lecture and I come back with, well, I can always get a job, there's that. Now, in her defense, she did let me get a job. For one night, she let me get a job. One night. And I couldn't go back, because the next thing was, I'm not going to be picking you up at night. Okay, problem, solution, right? Okay, well, here's the other solution. How about you teach me how to drive? No. And even if you do learn how to drive, whose car are you going to use? Because you ain't going to drive mine. Those were her words, not mine. So now it's no longer about solutions. We just want there to be problems. And the problem is me. So when you are considered and looked at as a burden growing up, being independent and self-sufficient is key. It is, you don't want to be nobody's problem. You don't want to get on nobody's nerve. And for the life of me, I'm still trying to figure out how did I manage to get myself talked into moving in with other people when I know, but it doesn't matter. But basically what I'm saying is when you are an independent person and you've been taught to basically raise yourself since the age of 18 and trying to figure out this whole thing on your own, right? And you don't know about boundaries, you don't know about anything. Only thing you know is that there was no safety, there was no protection for me growing up. I had to fend for myself. There was no boundaries. When I say there was no boundaries, okay, I need y'all to understand. When I say there was no boundaries for me as a child, teenage life, during that whole time, the house I grew up in, every room in the house had a door on it, except for my room. My room was the only room in the house that had no door. I started out without no boundaries, none. So of course you send me out in the world, and of course, you know, it was literally a trial and error thing. It took me a while to get it right, but I got it right. Thank the gods. But anyway, basically what I'm saying is when you're independent and you don't look for a provider, you tend to not look for a provider. And because you're not looking for a provider, and you're looking at someone you can fix, when it comes time for you to get that emotional support, it's not there. It's not going to be there because you didn't, number one, myself, I didn't require it. You know, I didn't require it. And because I was so busy trying to fix, I didn't care about it. It wasn't important until it became important. And then when I looked for them to give me that emotional intimacy, you know, hey, I love you, Kay, you know, let's spend some time together. Hey, can we sleep in the same bed sometime? You know, that kind of stuff, you know, and that's what you end up getting when you don't look for the emotional maturity and emotional integrity in your partner. And basically all I'm saying is when you're in a relationship, you're not supposed to be in a relationship to fix a person. When you have your individual life and the person has their individual life, you're supposed to come together, merge some of those individualities, but still keep your individualism, if that makes sense. And that's a lesson I've learned. I have not put it into practice because I am still very much single. I haven't even attempted to put any of these things that I talk about into action because I am still in the healing process. However, my heart is not cold. I have not been turned off to love because I am love. I am always open to it. However, just understand, it's strict over him. It's strict, okay? But it has to be that way in order, I feel it has to be that way in order for you to receive the love you deserve, period. If you don't require emotional maturity and growth, then you're not going to get it. And you have to stop settling to settle for second best. We're not doing that no more, y'all. We're done being side pieces. We're definitely, and this has never been me, but for those that are doing this, for those that are volunteering to be side pieces and third parties, please stop. Please stop doing that and love yourself, because you deserve better than that, okay? All right? We're going to love ourselves, and we're going to stop fixing people. We're going to focus on ourselves, focus on our healing and our emotional trauma. We're going to learn from it. We're going to never get back on that loop. And we're going to be complete and whole ourselves. So then when our person comes along, whoever he or she or they may be, they're going to be the same way. And we over here are not empaths going to settle for anything less than what we truly deserve is love. Because why? Because we are love. Gosh darn it. All right? But anyway, that is all for today. Thank you all for stopping by my channel. I hope everybody has a great weekend. Hope everybody's getting off dry safely. Love yourselves and love one another. Peace and love. For real, for real.